let's talk about feelings. But before I start, I would like to invite you to listen from a different place than you usually listen to things. I'm not trying to convince you of something, of my point of view or anything like that, but only to point you to a different direction, to a different perspective that probably you didn't consider up until now. We tend to listen to things from a point of view of I agree or disagree. And I invite you to listen to what I'm about to say from a point of view, from a place of maybe. What if that would be possible? How your world would be like? So just consider it. It's not a matter of accepting or not accepting, just a matter of considering. Now that being said, feelings. We have feelings all the time. We feel all the time things, and we want to feel good things, we want to feel happy. And we don't want to feel bad. And we also give fancy names to those bad feelings, like anxiety, fear of success, I love that one. And so on and so forth, comfort, discomfort, stuff like this. And there's an entire industry about how to deal with those feelings, how to get rid of those feelings. They develop techniques, one more fancy than the other, on how to get rid of those feelings, exactly as Dan mentioned, as if nature made a mistake, and right now it's up to us to correct that mistake, just to get rid of those feelings, just as if we aim for a life without those type of feelings that we label as being bad. But what if there is a different way to think about it? Consider this. Now I'm here, I'm standing. Sometimes I'm moving. There are a lot of things moving inside my body that I have no control of. And all this while, all this time, my body is immersed in this field of gravity that I have no control. This is something which is. So my body is in this field and my body moves. And out of the interaction between my body moving and this field of gravity, there are all sorts of sensations that get born on my body, that I feel on my body, that I get on my body. And those sensations basically are the only way through which my body gets a feedback about its position or its balance, because when we walk, we change our balance all the time. So our body gets a sense of what's the balance in that moment out of those sensations, so it has a chance to rebalance itself. But it wasn't like that all the time, because it was a time when I couldn't walk. I was little. And I presume I tried to walk, I tried to stand on my 2 feet, and I tried to hold on to my balance, and I tried to, make a step, but I would lean on one side, and then I would fall on the ground. And all this time I would feel all sorts of sensations. And probably most of them they weren't the most pleasant sensations in the world. But I was lucky enough that nobody told me that I should deal with those sensations. Nobody told me how to label those sensations as being hypothondis or something, and to get techniques on how to deal with those sensations and how to get rid of those sensations. And because nobody did that, my body was free to learn from those sensations and to learn implicitly how to readjust its balance moment by moment. My job basically as a human being was to set my intention. I want to walk. And once that intention was set, my body knows now what to do. Take that sensations as information, as feedback, as information on how to hold on to its balance. And because I didn't interfere consciously with this unconscious process, now my body knows how to do it. And what if it is the same about our feelings? My mind is immersed in this field, let's call it field of thought, principle of thought, field of thought, let's put it this way. And out of this interaction between my mind and this field of thought, feelings get born. Thoughts and feelings are the same thing. And those feelings basically, what if, are just information, or just feedback for my mind to know something about its balance or imbalanced position in this moment. And what if there's nothing for me to do about those feelings? Not only that, what if it is the fact that I must not do anything about them? I must not interfere consciously with this unconscious process of the mind rebalancing itself by taking into consideration those feelings as feedback, as information. Because if I were to interfere, then I would consciously interfere with an unconscious process, and we all know how that goes. Try to walk consciously. Walking, for instance, is an unconscious process. If you try to walk consciously, to really pay attention and really consider every little muscle tension and rotation of your hip and so, you're going to trip. You cannot walk consciously. You have to let this process go on its own. So what if it is the same with the feelings? What if it is something that is not my business? It is my mind business. I should be aware of them, but not to do anything about them. And just consider how many times you stop yourself doing something just because you felt in a particular way that you labeled as, I don't feel like, it's uncomfortable, I'm afraid, or whatever. How many times have you done that? And what if you're in the position to just consider those feelings and continue doing whatever you're doing, just as if those feelings are none of your business? Think about that, how your life will transform. Thank you very much.